你们原本就想赶我走，怎么现在又要我替太学院出头？一看就很好欺负。
我们必须摧毁他们的信念。
好好的苗子都被你们祸害了，
都是你们这些武权奸臣无能。
我是怀疑太学院里有反贼。
此事传扬出去，道门必定造反。
二哥，你做什么？
我是3天能够教出一位战胜道门道子的天才，你信吗？
Hello, and welcome back to the 1991 Review Channel. After 2 days of instruction from the Imperial Preceptor, the decisive moment had finally arrived. Qin Mu stepped out Mountain Gate to formally confront Daozi Lin Xian. The atmosphere immediately grew tense. Looking at Qin Mu, Lin Xian hesitated slightly. Seeing this, Dan Yangzi encouraged him. Go on. The Imperial Preceptor personally mentored the scholars for the sole purpose of cultivating this person. You don't need to worry about personal gains or losses. Since there were no other scholars before the Mountain Gate, Qin Mu had no need to hide his true strength. He introduced himself as having a cultivation level of the 5 Luminaries realm and asked if the Daozi would be using a weapon. Across from him, to ensure a fair duel, Lin Xian immediately sealed his own 6 Directions divine treasure. Before the young man could even reply, Dan Yangzi quickly interjected, "No weapons. You will compete only in Daoist techniques, divine abilities, and close combat." Watching his disciple put down the horsetail whisk, Dan Yangzi breathed a sigh of relief, for he had just seen Qin Mu unstrap a pile of weapons, including a bamboo staff, a pig butchering knife, an iron mace, and a junior protector sword, each one incredibly formidable. The battle erupted in an instant. Qin Mu struck first, his divine pivot and azure heaven celestial eyes opening simultaneously. He unleashed an earth-shattering punch, transforming the countless rubble on the ground into a ferocious sand dragon that charged toward the Daozi. Seeing the attack coming, Lin Xian was no slouch either. His yin-yang Daoist eyes swirled, and he immediately unleashed his ultimate technique, the Heaven-Flipping Seal. The moment the 2 attacks collided, the Heaven-Flipping Seal, as if carrying the might of mountains, stopped Qin Mu's torrential attack in its tracks. But that was just the beginning. Qin Mu had already hidden a killing move. Countless, extremely fine threads of sword chi concealed within the rubble burst forth in unison, coalescing into a massive azure dragon. He was using the very winding sword form that the Imperial Preceptor had just taught him to attack. It was only then that Lin Xian was truly shocked. The young man realized that in terms of the sheer profundity of vital energy alone, Qin Mu actually surpassed him, the one cultivating the innate supreme mystery art, which was renowned for its unparalleled magical power. Forced on the back foot, the Daozi had to change his technique, using his vital energy to form a horsetail whisk to defend himself. But Qin Mu had already seized the opportunity, gathering fine dust into a long spear and transforming his hand into a blade. He furiously shattered the defense, landing several blows on his opponent, causing him to spit out a mouthful of essential blood and fly backward. Pushed to the brink, Daozi Lin Xian let out a great shout, deciding to unleash his trump card, the signature sword art of the Daoist sect, the Dao Sword's 14 Heavens. The move 1 point pierces a vast lotus was executed, and a colossal black and white Taiji diagram instantly appeared in the air, pressing down on Qin Mu with destructive might. This was a sword art, not of the mortal world. In this life or death moment, Qin Mu did not flinch. With his sword in hand, he executed the only sword technique the village chief had taught him, a god-punishing sword technique. Sword of mountains and rivers in principle. For this sword to unleash its power, the user must hold no gods, no Buddhas, and no demons in their heart, possessing a spirit of great disrespect for all things. Witnessing the scene, Dan Yangzi's eye twitched. At the same time, the dragon Qilin lazing before the Mountain Gate was jolted awake. The moment the 2 earth-shattering sword arts clashed, a massive explosion rang out. The Taiji diagram shattered, and Daozi Lin Xian was struck by dozens of sword slashes, fresh blood spraying from his body. However, at the very last second, the Daozi discovered a single opening on Qin Mu's left shoulder and launched a counterattack. Qin Mu was horrified when he realized his opponent's gaze had fallen on the weak point of his Overlord Body 3 elixir skill. Without a second thought, he immediately used the demon god's mighty strength seal to defend. In the end, the Daozi's sword pierced through Qin Mu's palm, while he himself was struck by dozens more slashes and slammed straight into the ground. The battle was over. Qin Mu was victorious. The heavily injured Daozi Lin Xian maintained his composure. The master and disciple bowed in respect and departed quietly. Watching their retreating figures, Qin Mu lamented to himself, "So painful. That old Daoist Dan Yangzi is too stingy. He didn't even give me any healing medicine." The pain was heart-wrenching. He staggered and leaned against a nearby dragon Qilin, coincidentally discovering that its saliva possessed miraculous healing properties. The little scoundrel immediately had an idea to trick it into giving up its dragon elixir with some pickled food, but the dragon Qilin couldn't be bothered, saying, "There's a large green ox on the mountain. I've had my eye on it for a long time." Hearing this, Qin Mu was overjoyed and replied loudly, "A righteous brother, I must befriend you. Rest assured, I'll bring it to you soon." When Qin Mu returned, the other scholars had awoken and begun to buzz with discussion. The entire Imperial College was speculating on who had defeated the Daozi. All the top names were mentioned, but no one considered Qin Mu, whom they believed had just managed to cultivate a wisp of vital energy. The identity of the victor remained a mystery, but a new crisis has arrived. Just as the experts from the Daoist sect left, an old monk and a young novice from the great Thunderclap Monastery have come to sit before the mountain gate. How exciting will the next developments be? Be sure to subscribe to the 1991 Review YouTube channel to find out more. For now, goodbye, and see you next time.